Hi stamping friends, I'm Melissa Kerman with Melissa's Crafting Treehouse. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I love teaching people about the art of paper crafting. I offer online and in-person classes and give free classes when you purchase through me. So yes, I do sell the products I share in my videos and would love to be your demonstrator if you like what I share and you do not already have a demonstrator. Today I'll be featuring the WinterWoods stamp set, which also can be purchased as a bundle with the dies that you see here in front of you, and also using the Itty Bitty Greetings stamp set and the Subtle embossing folder and the Woodland embossing folder. So on to the project for today. This is a project that I cased from Pinterest. I just loved it. I love the simplicity of it. There's texture and interest, and it's very versatile. So I did this project for my team as a make and take, and I also did a simpler version for my card ministry group that I do once every other month. So I made a bunch of these just for my own personal use because I just love this design. I've done two different versions of this card, one using Whisper White as my neutral, the other using Very Vanilla. What I've stamped on right here is the Very Vanilla cardstock with that lovely image of the trees in that set. It's my favorite image in the set. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put it through the Big Shot using the Subtle embossing folder, and I think this detail really makes this card is the several different layers. There's 3 different layers that have dry embossing, 2 of them with the Subtle embossing folder and 1 with the Woodland embossing folder. Before I actually do my dry embossing, I'm taking my 2 layers, the one stamped layer face down and the soft suede layer, and I'm just spraying them ever so lightly with my spray bottle. You may have seen the spray bottle or spraying that I just did there. And I have already sprayed the stamped piece. You can see it's stamped on both sides. I almost always stamp on both sides, and then I pick which image worked out best, that I liked the best. But you will want to spray the back side so that your image doesn't blend, the one that you're going to use. It might actually look kind of pretty if it did blend, but you can experiment with that and play. So now this is an extra thick embossing folder, so I'm only using 1 cutting pad, and I've sprayed the paper so that you get the full benefit of that deep impression. There is actually a difference with using the spray versus not as far as how deep the impression is that you get. So now I'm just pulling out my dry embossed pieces, and I don't know how well you can see on camera. I compared doing this card with and without the use of that subtle embossing folder on those pieces, and it just made a huge difference to do the dry embossing. So now I'm going to work on some of the assembly pieces. I'm going to start with stamping the sentiment, and there are tons of great sentiments in this Itty Bitty Greetings stamp set, as you can probably tell. The next thing I'm going to do is create my banner. So I've just cut a slit up the center of the end, and then just cut out the 2 side pieces to create the banner. And I've used my paper snips there, which are very fine detail scissors, great for doing little banners like this. Now I've already dry embossed my Woodland embossing folder piece, as you can probably see there. That is a regular embossing folder, so it's not an extra thick textured embossing folder, so you do use 2 cutting pads when you put it through the Big Shot. And I'm going ahead and just adding that layer in the background. It creates some great texture on this card, and I also experimented with eliminating that step to simplify, and again found that it really needed that added texture, and it really enhanced the design. I'm now just finishing up with my assembly, and I've attached the designer series paper and the black cardstock directly onto the card. That soft suede piece, in one version I used Stampin' Dimensionals, and the other I just attached it flat. I didn't show that step here in the video, but just know that you can add dimensionals to back of the soft suede and it looks really pretty. So just a quick little bit on that button embellishment. I did do 2 different versions, one with the copper trim and the other with the linen thread. So I just took one of my True Gentleman buttons and threaded the ribbon through, and then just tied a knot with the version that was done with the copper trim, which I especially liked. I sort of fanned out the ends of the ribbon because it's kind of shapeable, and you'll see on my blog post a close-up of that particular element. I love the versatility of this card. As I mentioned earlier, I did this as a team make and take, and also for my card ministry group. I made a simpler version for that group, and you can see that version here. I made some of these for my own personal use, and also gave some to my daughter for that she could send to people as she wished. So I had a lot of fun with this project, and you can too. So here are my two versions, the vanilla version and the Whisper White version. To learn more about what I create and offer, check out my website at www.melissascraftingtreehouse.com. There's lots of great information over there. So thanks for spending some time with me today, and I hope to see you again real soon. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Have a great day and happy crafting!